Oh, good morning. On this episode of Cooking with Squirrel, we're going to be making a brown beef stock. Let me get changed and we'll get started. So our oven is at 375 degrees. What we're going to do now is take 10 pounds of bones and put them on a sheet tray. So we've got our 10 pounds of bones here, and they're all frozen together. So what we're going to do is we're going to put them in that oven for about 15 minutes just to de-thaw them. We're going to pull them out and re-spread them. All right, let's get these in the oven for about 15 minutes. So we're roughly 30 minutes or halfway, give or take, into roasting these bones. At this time, what we want to do is pull them out the oven. We're going to add a pound of rough cut mirepoix, as well as a can of crushed drained tomatoes. And then it's back in the oven to brown the mirepoix and the tomatoes. And what we're going to do is go ahead and just add, like I said, this pound of rough cut mirepoix so it can brown. Be careful, because that sheet pan or roasting pan, whatever you're using, is going to be hot. We're now going to take this pound of crushed drained tomatoes and just kind of drizzle it over the bones. And then we're going to put this in for roughly 30 minutes or so till the tomatoes have a nice rusty color. Alright, so we're going to check these tomatoes. I think they should be good. Everything should be nice and browned. We're going to be able to pull it and move on to our next step. Let's go ahead and pull these bones out. I do have both these burners on because we want to keep this tray hot because we're about to deglaze it. So we're looking pretty good. Yeah. Well, first thing we want to do is take these bones and put them in our stock pot over here. And that is a cold stock pot, not on a hot burner. Get our bones in there. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to take this tray of beef fat and vegetables and dump it right in the stock pot. And we're going to deglaze this tray with a little bit of water to get all this goodness up. And guess what? Right into the stock pot. So to this mix, what we're going to do is add a bay leaf, 2 cloves, a couple peppercorns, some parsley and thyme, and all that in. And then we're going to add cold water, just enough cold water to cover these bones. No more, no less. And what we're going to do is turn this on, bring it to a simmer, reduce the heat, and we're going to let it simmer essentially all night long. At this point, I'd taken stock in my inventory, and I do not have any pig's feet. I would have added pig's feet to add more body. If you're using venison bones at this point, I would add 4 pig feet to add gelatin and body to this stock. But now we're going to let it set and simmer all night long. So I know it seems like a lot of work, but honestly it's mostly just waiting. So this is the water just into the pot with the bones and everything. And I want y'all to pay attention to the color that it is already, just from roasting those bones and mirepoix. All right, so we've allowed this stock to simmer all night long. What we want to do now is strain it. First thing we're going to want to do is get these bones out. All right, now that we've gotten these bones out, what we're going to do is we're going to want to strain this through a fine mesh strainer. I typically do this in the sink. All right, so we've strained our mirepoix. We've reserved our bones because what we're going to do is go through the exact same process again, called the remoulage, or the second washing of the bones. Now the mirepoix is trash. We're going to toss that, but we are going to start a second batch of stock with these bones. All right, so we've got 2 batches of stock done. What we're going to want to do is skim the fat, warm them up so they're liquid, and combine them. That'll do is combine the batches as well as make some more storage room in the ice box until we can get the 3rd batch done, combine it, and can it. So all we're going to do is take this ladle and skim off this fat. And I'm putting it in this saucepan so that I can warm it up to liquefy it, and just put it in a jar for storage. You can use it for sauteing or whatever you need. We want to try not to take stock and just scoop fat. Okay, as you can see, we got most of the fat off of this one. Let's go ahead and get this on a back burner. And we're just going to do a low heat just to warm it up so we can combine the two. As you see, it's kind of gelatinous. Let's get the other one out. And same thing, we're just going to take this fat. You see this batch is a little more liquid than the first one. And if I had had the pig's feet I'd wanted, we'd have had a deep, more gelatinous stock, but it's still better. You can see a thicker, better quality than any store-bought stock you're going to get. This burner will go on low to warm up. We'll put this pan of fat on. All we're going to do with the fat is warm it up so it liquefies and we can put it in a jar. So we've got all the stock done, combined. It's on the stove warming up. What we're going to do now is get the stock into pint jars and get it canned so that we can hold it without refrigeration for about a year or so. All right, here we go. So we're going to take this warm stock and ladle it into jars. This is an 8-ounce ladle, so it's about 2 of them. Just a little more. Now we're just going to put these here into our pressure canner. Okay, and we're going to put the lid on and lock this lid. We're going to remove the weight and let this basically vent for 10 minutes. So that means our seals will be up and locked. We'll have steam coming out the vent. So in the container, for the recommended time, we're going to go ahead and pull them out. Now, we're going to let them cool to where we can about handle them. We should hear a lids pop down. That means they are sealed. At that time, we can remove this band. I hope you have enjoyed watching this as much as I have enjoyed making this. If I can make this in my kitchen, what can you make in yours? Like, comment, share, subscribe. Thank you for your time.